All right, folks, we're going to be adding text to our drawings and picking up where we left off. So in the last video, we added all this, or we added line work up to here, and then I said you all finish the rest. And so this is what it should look like, and we're ready to add text. So we're going to follow the instructions. In the instructions here, use the style command to create the text. And just start typing in style, and you'll see that it comes up. After I just type in ST and hit enter. And it brings up the style dialog box. And let's just take a look at what's in here and see if we can guess kind of like what should we use to change the text style so that it is named Romanesque and it has the Romanesque.shx font. So here's our dialog box. There's the text styles that exist in the drawing, and they're associated right now with a txt.shx font. So I could change the font here, but it's not going to change the name. I have to figure out how to get a new name over here. And then I can see over here I've got a new button. So let's click on new, and this is where I can type in Romans or Romanesque. And now I have that new font as a font that I can work with. So I'm going to highlight that font and make it current by hitting Set Current. And then I want to change the font name that's associated with that style to the Romanesque font. So if I use this alphabetical order here that I have, I can find it in the R's. There it is. And we're all set. So we now have a new font called Romanesque that's associated with the Romanesque SHX font style, and we hit apply. The next instruction is to use the dtext command to create the actual text. So calculate the length of each line in millimeters and fill in the brackets. So you might want to jot down what are those millimeter conversions on a separate sheet of paper next to you so you have it as reference. But you're basically going to multiply each one of these numbers here times 25.4 and then write your answer inside of these brackets. So let's see what happens if we start to type in DT. There's dtext or text, it looks like it's coming up. So I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm going to follow my command line. So it says text specify start point of text. And I want the text to start about 1/8 of an inch up from this line. So I'm going to hover over the line, just like we did when we were defining the distance between lines when we were drawing each new line. I'm going to use that same concept, hover over that point as a reference, drag the line or my reference point up, because that's how far I want the text to be above the line, and type in the distance I want the text to be above the line, 0.125. And the next question, and you got to read your command line, is it's asking for the height, and I have to type in 0.125 the first time around. And then it's asking for a rotation angle, 0. Now 0 is already the correct answer in brackets, so I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to give me a blinking cursor. I can start typing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to put 10 spaces between center and the length of the line, and then put in brackets. And when I multiply 10 times 25.4, I get 254 close brackets. Enter. Puts the cursor directly below the first line of text. If I'm no longer wanting to type there, I hit enter again and I'm out of the command. So I'm going to repeat that command a second time. Hover over this chain line this time and drag straight up and put in 0.125 as a distance. My text height this time is the correct height, so I'm going to hit enter. And my angle is correct at 0, so I'm going to hit enter and then type in chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9.313, and open, close brackets. I'll let you guys type in what that value should be on the inside. So we can keep doing this. Do it one more time. to track off of this point, track up, 0.125. I've got to hit enter through the next two questions, text height, rotation angle, and then type in cutting plane. I believe this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6.875, open bracket, close bracket. All right, so we could keep doing that. Oh, and notice what just happened when I just kind of clicked on my screen. It actually put the blinking cursor in a new location, which would be fine, but there's no way for me to precisely place that blinking cursor right above the line like we have been doing on the rest of them. So I'm going to hit escape or hit escape to get out of that text, and I want to move on to the next one. Now the next one is a dimension line, and we're going to deal with it a little differently. So notice I have in brackets, I've already got the alternate dimensions showing up here, the alternate units. I'm going to show you how I did that. I typed in D, which brings up a command called dim style. That controls the look and appearance of your dimensions. You can see you get a preview here. I then went into modify, and I changed my alternate units from not being displayed to being displayed. While I'm here too, I'm going to round to the nearest 2 decimal places. It actually is showing 2 decimal places, so I think we're all set there. So I think we're all set. However, I don't like that the font on this text, here, let me just hit OK so you can point it out to you. The font is not the same. And I want to make it the same, and I want to make sure that the text height is the same in the dimension style. So I'm going to hit D, enter again, and go into modify. And look at the tabs that I have, and which one do you think is the logical place for me to go to change text? Probably the text tab. So in the text tab, across from text style, if you click on the arrow, the style we just created will be there. And then we want to set the text height to the same height, 0.125, and then hit OK. And that's going to make that text look the same as the rest. And now we can fill in the answer. That's the correct answer. Let's see how we could do that. I've already got it typed. I shouldn't have to erase it and type it all over again. What happens if we double click on it? It makes it editable. So I can type in that new value, and I've edited that text. Well, this gives me an idea. Instead of starting that command, text command over again, placing it and typing out a new line, is it possible for me to take an existing line of text, copy it into the correct location, and then edit it? Let's see. I'm going to start typing the word copy, and as soon as I get to O, copy appears, so I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to select the line of text that I want to copy, which is the cutting plane line. In this case, the closest one. I'm just going to go ahead and select that. I don't want to select anything else, but how do I let the computer know? I let it know by hitting enter. And then when it says specify base point, I want to figure out where do I want to grab this text from so I can be precise about where I place it. If I actually use the same point that I was using to place the text initially, the end point of the line, then I could be consistent about placing the text above each line at that exact point. And you can see what's happening is it's creating an exact copy of that line of text, and it's placing it exactly the same distance above the line because I used the end of the line as a reference. So now all we need to do is double click on those lines of text, change their values, and in this case I can get rid of that part of it because it's already being said in the dimension itself, and I just want to label the line. Click on the next one, and it's automatically going to become active. This is a hidden line, and the length is 7.9. Let's get rid of the value in brackets. This one is a phantom line, and it is 8.2, I believe. Get rid of the information in brackets. You're going to add the correct length. This is a section line. And that's The length of the section line is 3.875, I think. Just reference the drawing if you're not sure. And then the cutting plane line is now the stitch line. And that should be 6.25, I believe. Get rid of that. You're going to fill in the correct answer there. And then lastly, we have the visible line. And we want to change that to 9. By the way, if you're wondering, how am I zooming in and zooming out? I am using the middle mouse, the little middle button on my mouse to zoom in and zoom out. And then if you press that middle button, you can pan, okay? So we are now at a stage where we can put in our drawing. It's finished. This drawing 1A is finished and can be uploaded. So we're ready to upload that file and put it into Brightspace. The next step is for us to save a copy of this file and rename it, and it will become drawing 1B, and we'll already have all the layers in it that we need. So all you're going to need to do is just follow the steps for part 1B to be able to continue with the assignments.